People shop for different reasons. For some, it's a way to relieve stress, and for others, it's a pastime. And for some people, shopping is a sport. Now, thanks to the internet, shopping has never been easier. Online shopping has given consumers access to more products than ever before. And as consumers become more discerning about where they spend their money, smaller businesses are finding themselves able to address those needs in a big way. Hello and welcome to DC Direct. I'm Lionel Donovan. Here we talk about the big issues in the U.S., but we want you to weigh in. So feel free to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at TRT World. And reach out to us with the hashtag DC Direct and be a part of the conversation. In today's show, we're talking about online shopping. Online shopping is booming. Over half of all consumers in the U.S. with access to the internet say that they go shopping online at least once a month. And about a third of them say that they're willing to spend more money online this month than they did last month. That's a lot of money people are spending online, and a lot of companies are hoping to cash in. Online retail sales grew by over 16% in 2017, a growth rate that hasn't been seen since 2011. Online shopping and e-commerce brought in over $453 billion and represented 13% of total retail sales in 2017, and is projected to reach 15% of all retail sales in the U.S. by 2020. To get an idea of how small businesses are hoping to capitalize on the appeal of online shopping, I stopped by the Honey Bunny Boutique to sit down with Kristian Henderson, founder of Blk+grn. Blk+grn serves as a platform for independent producers to sell their products. As an online retailer, Henderson knows all too well the benefits online spaces offer to small business owners.
The online space is the barriers to entry are a lot lower. I mean, you set up a website, you get your products, and that very next day you can actually start selling to customers. Whereas actually setting up a brick and mortar requires a lot more capital. You kind of already want to have a following to make sure you get people in the door, so it's just a higher barrier of entry. Not only is it easier for a small business to enter the space, but a lot of our customers are looking for more convenient ways to shop, despite the fact that the majority of purchases are still made in brick and mortars. We definitely see the online space growing dramatically.
As an online marketplace, how have you been able to, stand out, especially in a place as big as the internet?
We also have seen this movement with brick and mortars where people are more conscientious about shopping small and shopping local and wanting to put their dollars back into the communities that they frequent. We allow people to do that same thing online, that you can support these small owned brands that you may not never have known about, but we're bringing them to one easy place so now you can feel good about your purchases. People to align their ethics and their values with their spending habits. And they're excited about that opportunity because there hasn't been a lot of places for them to do that in the past.
As more people flock to the internet to shop, many stores around the country close their doors. It'd be easy to assume that the rapid growth of online retail was the cause for this, but Stan Veuger, an economist at the American Enterprise Institute, isn't so sure.
So in the U.S., we've seen a lot of shopping malls disappear, but it's not totally clear that that is because of the rise of online retail, as opposed to the U.S. just having overbuilt physical retail locations in the late 90s and during the 2000s when we had the housing bubble. We also had this kind of commercial real estate bubble. A couple of years ago, had about double the amount of retail space per capita as Australia, which is the sort of the number two, but like 5-6 times as much as Germany or the UK. It makes sense for US to have a little bit more, but the country's a little bit wealthier. There's a little more space in a lot of locations, but 6 times more retail space, a lot more, right? So that some of it is just that bubble slowly deflating as opposed to crowd out by retail.
Veuger also feels that although the online market space is growing, there's still a need for physical stores, and highlighted how both can work together to serve consumers.
I think the process has been a little slower than people expected, and in certain industries, there are still, massively dominant positions for brick and mortar retailers. As I mentioned earlier, groceries, 98% or so is still sold at brick and mortar locations, right? So that's, we're decades away, probably, from online retailers there really getting the upper hand. But there's also more blended hybrid models where people, the easiest ones are where people order online and go pick up at the store. So for example, Target does a lot of that, Walmart does a lot of that. And so for that, you can keep the retail locations, basically as distribution points. And instead of having your own vans drive around, people come and pick up their product.
The benefits and appeal of doing business online are well known. But because it's so well known, a little more will be needed for a business to be successful in the online space moving forward.
All the signs are pointing to online retail growing. I think that the key is how our small online retailer is going to keep up with the bigger online retailers. Places like Shopify, that's making it a lot easier for smaller brands to create semi-competitive websites that have more of the bells and whistles that customers are becoming accustomed to and that they require. I think that's the key, is listening to your customer, figuring out what they want, and constantly growing and moving towards getting them the needs to make shopping with you easier and easier and easier.
The internet is bringing people around the world closer every day, and it's changing the way business is being done. As online marketplaces continue to thrive, large companies and corporations are hoping to establish the same kind of dominance that they enjoy here in the real world. Meanwhile, smaller businesses are taking advantage of their size and being more agile and responsive to consumers. So, who will win out in the end? Well, that's for you to decide. Well, that's all the time we have today in DC Direct, but please be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at TRT World. And reach out to us with the hashtag DC Direct and let us know what you think about the future of online shopping. Until next time, I'm Lionel Donovan.